Well, it seems like the author of the scathing ballerina farm article from the Times is facing the consequences of her own actions, as she should be.
How the turntables...
After facing severe backlash and major virality surrounding her hit piece on Hannah and Daniel's marriage and their business, and possibly the threat of a defamation lawsuit, Megan...
E só para constar que esse canal tem muita qualidade, mano. Nós só estamos a usar HD, né, 1080p, que nem é a última resolução. Temos ainda 140, 1440 e 2160. Basicamente é o canal com mais qualidade, um dos canais com mais qualidade que eu já vi. Deixa eu só ligar a internet caiu aqui. E é um dos canais com mais qualidade que eu já vi. E ela fala ou tem o script, né? Todo em dia, mano. Ela praticamente não erra, né? E não tem muita pausa, assim. Então é muito bom para praticar, ok? Vamos continuar.
Megan, the author of that piece, has released a follow-up article. And wouldn't you know, she completely changed her tune. Now, is it genuine? Probably not. Will it help change the minds of millions of people who have been convinced that Hannah is now in an abusive marriage? Also probably not. But at least somebody is setting the record straight. Better late than never. Before we dive into this story, though, make sure that you like this video, subscribe to this channel if you have not already, and of course, ring that notification bell so that you never miss one of these comment section episodes. I mean, all of this is just so predictable at this point. Journalists do this in politics all the time. It's not new. They print and publish literal lies. Complete fabricated information. They let the headlines and the news spread like wildfire, and then weeks, months, sometimes years later,
it's been 84 years,
they'll quietly issue a little correction, a little update, so that they can be on the right side of factual history. Yet by that point, the damage will have already been done. They also don't publicize the fact that they're doing an update or a correction. They just, slide it in to the bottom of the article. So 6 months later, if you want to go back and read what the New York Times was saying about X, Y, and Z, then you'll see, oh, well, actually, they lied about this, but they don't admit it. They don't actually tell anyone. And that's basically what happened here with the Ballerina Farm Tradwife hit piece. Now, if you guys have not read the original article or have not seen our episode that we did on it last week, pause here, go watch that, go read that, because it is wild and you need the context. Like, with the way that the author wrote about Hannah Nealman and her family, you would literally have thought that she is living in an abusive, toxic marriage straight out of The Handmaid's Tale, literally. And millions upon millions of readers and people on social media were convinced of that. But to their credit, many could also sniff out the fact that this was an incredibly slanted and incredibly biased article. Even people who don't like Hannah's lifestyle, who think that she should still be a dancer in New York, admitted that this was very biased. That the article was more about the author and her reporting goals and what she wanted to say about society and tradwives, and not actually about Hannah. And over the weekend, everybody started calling her on it. And I am sure that the Ballerina Farm family and their team also called her on it in a legal way. Now, I don't know that for sure, but I would guess that is what happened, because based on what we know now, the lies that were told are just insane. Now, all of this got especially tense and heated when people realized that The Times, which is the newspaper that published this article, has a podcast, and that this author, Megan, had gone on the podcast to talk about this amazing article that she was writing about tradwives and about Hannah Nealman. And in this podcast, she releases actual audio recordings from the interview that she did with Hannah and Daniel and their whole family, which was just the worst thing that this author could have done for herself, because what we all hear in this podcast is drastically different than the story that she printed. Just listen here.
Give up a piece of yourself. Yeah. I don't think I would change it. No. Daniel was like, if you want to dance, go dance, we were open to anything, but I knew deep down that I wanted to raise my babies,
She seemingly does her life there, so I'm not saying that she was kind of tricked or coerced into going at all.
Oh, not at all. No, that is literally what you wrote in the article. We hear Hannah say, Daniel said I could dance, we were open to anything, but I knew that I wanted to raise my babies. And then the journalist on this podcast goes, yeah, well, I'm not saying she was coerced. You literally wrote that. Are you so blind to honesty or the idea that somebody could make a different choice than you and it not be based in coercion and toxic masculinity that you literally cannot see what you're saying and that it is a complete lie? Like, it literally, I have no words. We just heard what Hannah said. And then immediately after playing that recording on a podcast, that is what the journalist says. I mean, it's just laughable. Anyway, Hannah goes on, continues to debunk everything that this journalist said in the article. And remember, this is not after the fact. This is what she told the journalist, which is why it is just so shocking and appalling what was actually printed.
Are a partnership now, you know? Like, I don't feel like I'm at home raising kids by myself. Like, that's hard.
Yeah.
And women need support. And when Daniel was like, okay, let's build something together, we really carried the mantle together.
That's amazing. And that also was what she was trying to convey in this interview. She was saying, I wanted to be working with my husband. And Daniel was saying, you know, we are co-CEOs. And even though the author did give them that and did quote them in the article saying that, she was like, I'm not really convinced. Is this really what she wants? She was a ballerina. All she wants to be is a ballerina, and now she's just a baby-making machine. When literally they are sitting in front of you, talking to you about their choices and what they want, what she wants. The choices that she made. All right, here's another person who also clipped some parts from this podcast episode. She also says some great things about Daniel.
Well, you know, I gave up dance, which was like big sacrifice.
Se você está a perceber, comenta aqui nos comentários. Ou comenta o que você percebeu, certo? Basicamente estamos a falar de alguém, né, que gostaria de... É mãe, mas gostaria de fazer outras coisas, né, como dançar e muito mais. Então, os jornalistas, como sempre, apimentaram na notícia, na história, né? Começaram já a falar de machismo e muito mais, yeah. Mas ela só queria um entendimento entre o marido e ela. É basicamente isso.
For me, Daniel gave up, you know, his career ambitions, and we were like, hey, let's start something together. Like, those are big sacrifices for us.
So again, this is a decision that they made together. She was not coerced. Daniel also had to make sacrifices. That is what happens in a marriage. That's what happens when you're parents. You both have to make sacrifices. They are saying that in the interview. Was this conveyed in the original article? No, absolutely not, because that would not fit the author's agenda. So basically, to recap, if you guys remember the original article, remember all the lies that were told, the accusations, the assumptions, all of that is completely blown up by these actual audio clips from the interview, where she says, Daniel encouraged me to dance. He would have been fine if I wanted to stay in New York and dance. Told me to follow my passion, we could make it work. We were open to anything, and then they talk about building this business together. As co-CEOs, it is a partnership. They are carrying the mantle together, which I just love that way of thinking. She obviously found her purpose, and it just so happened to be outside of dance and outside of what she expected her life to look at. And you know what? That happens sometimes. And in fact, Grand Canyon University can help you find your calling. Grand Canyon University is a private Christian university in the beautiful Phoenix, Arizona. Grand Canyon University believes in equal opportunities and that the American dream starts with a purpose. GCU equips you to serve others in ways that promote human flourishing and create a ripple effect of transformation in your community for generations to come. By honoring your career calling, you impact your family, your friends, and your community. Just like Hannah and Daniel have been impacting their community and the entire social media landscape with Ballerina Farm for years. I mean, she's changing the world for good as she puts her family first, as she glorifies God and helps her community. And that's because she found her true purpose, which you also can do. Whether you're pursuing a bachelor's, a master's, or a doctoral degree, GCU's online, on-campus, and hybrid learning environments are designed to help you achieve your unique academic, personal, and professional goals. With over 330 academic programs as of December of 2023, GCU meets you where you are and provides a path to help you fulfill your dreams. The pursuit to serve others is truly yours. So find your purpose today at Grand Canyon University. It is private, it's Christian.
Bro, basicamente estamos a assistir 2 minutos de publicidade, né? Não que não vamos aprender com isso, mas acho que até que é suficiente. E vamos lá pela a resolução, né? Basicamente é a história, né, de Daniel e a sua mulher, né, que acho que o nome é a bailarina, é uma bailarina, né? Que os dois decidiram, não é isso? Seguir os seus sonhos, né? O marido teve que abandonar algumas coisas, né, para continuar a vida com ela, e ela também teve que fazer alguns sacrifícios. Mas estão aí, né? Quem quiser pesquisar mais pode pesquisar essa história e no canal da ATLANTICO para assistir. Então, se você gostou do vídeo, deixa o like. Vamos lá, pessoal, vamos deixar muitos likes, ok? Porque essa é uma forma de aprender inglês, ok? Então, o que é que você pode fazer? Pode estar fazendo, pode estar repetindo o vídeo ou pode estar escrevendo, né? Caso gostes de escrever, e repete, que a repetição faz o mestre, ok? Então, Obrigado por chegar até aqui. Qualquer dúvida, deixa nos comentários. Não esqueça de subscrever e deixar o like. Ok, estamos juntos. É nóis. Tchau.